Well, now my second piece of art is called Moving Forward from Idealism, and it's based on stereotypes. For this second work of art, I started looking for information about this topic, as my knowledge about the stereotypes was limited to the best known ones, such as gender, race, etc. At the same time, I started to analyze the different modern techniques that I could use for this topic. After a period of reflection, I decided I would use either photography or installations, since they were the two that most caught my attention. Especially when I saw the works of Brad Reichstag, 1995, and The Umbrellas, 1984, of Christ and Jean-Claude, and some of the works by Raymond Depardon, such as The Voyage of a Nomad. I continued researching about stereotypes, and I decided that I wouldn't do my work on human stereotypes. I felt that it would be more appropriate to use something more abstract and less explored. Finally, I decided that my work would be focused on nature's stereotypes, as I love nature and I would like my work to represent how I am and the feelings that I have towards nature. After a period of reflection, when observing images of paradisiacal beaches in the Caribbean, a thought came to my head. For me, these beaches were not the most beautiful in the world, since when I think of a beach, I always think of the beauty of the cliffs, the rocks, the tides. After some time of reflection, I decided that my piece of art would reflect this contrast between the ideal beach stereotype that everyone thinks of when talking about beaches and another beach that was completely different. After having decided what my work would be like, it was time to connect my idea with the technique that I had chosen, installation. As I was clear in my work that I also wanted to include photography, I decided that the ideal beach stereotype would represent with a photography, which would contrast with a work of art that I designed, since it seemed to me the best way to represent my idea. After thinking about it, I decided that I would use watercolors, since I wanted to focus on making a contrast with photography, colors, landscapes. As I had chosen an image of a beach with light colors, I decided that in my watercolor I would use darker colors, strong brown for the beach, strong blue for the water, and a gray and black tone for the outlines, rocks, and other objects. After finishing with the watercolors, I still had to think about how I would place the two images to achieve the desired contrast. I decided to place the photograph of the paradisiacal beach on the top of the one in my watercolor drawing, so that the photograph could be seen from afar. But if the person who observes the piece of art comes closer, they could also observe the other image. Since with this I wanted to express that to appreciate the beauty in life, we have to look at the details. As a final conclusion, I would like to say that carrying out this work has allowed me to learn much more about what art is and the close relationship that it has with feelings. I think that realizing this fact can serve me enormously in my future as a teacher, as primary school students have a special difficulty to express their feelings, how they are, and they don't have so much confidence. I could use art to help them express how they feel and to make them be more confident. I also think that thanks to the use of different techniques, I could show them that we can use different objects, like different things that we have at home in our daily lives, to make some art. So I think this is very important because they normally think that art is just for artists, but we all can be creative and artists if we want to.